You've been told to balance your hormones, but this is a lie, and it can even be damaging to your health. In this video, I'll break down why chasing perfect labs is a waste of time. We'll unpack how the term hormone balancing is marketing hype, and it's used to sell everything from supplements to protocols. Plus, I'll give you the shift you can make for real, grounded support that wakes up that version of yourself that you thought was lost forever without balancing anything. I'm not saying labs are useless. They definitely have their place. But the constant hype saying you're hormonally imbalanced creates a sense that you need to be fixed, and that if you don't buy the thing, the suffering is your fault and you're choosing to stay broken. But that's not true. If you've ever felt caught in a cycle of fear and shame, this is why. Balanced hormones has become a marketing buzzword. It's treated like this holy grail that will fix menopause or fix you. And I find that very cringy. Menopause doesn't need to be fixed. It's a natural process, and you don't need to be fixed for sure, even when you want to fix how you feel. The term hormone balancing, it sounds scientific. It gives the impression that there's this state of perfect balance, these specific numbers that you need to hit. But that's not true either. There is no single, stable, balanced state of hormones. There are so many hormones in your body, not just the ones related to menopause, and all these hormones fluctuate always. That's how they work. They're part of the body's communication system. Hormones respond to each other and to other input. Then the hormones help to signal different functions based on what your body needs, based on what it's doing at different times of day and during different activities. So chasing this perfect state is harmful because you waste time, you waste effort, you're spinning your wheels trying to reach this unattainable, fictional state of balance. Worse than wasted time, it negatively impacts your mental health when your stress level goes up from the frustration of not being able to get where you're trying to go, and the spiral of helplessness and hopelessness because it's actually unattainable in the first place. You're trying to hit this unrealistic fake target that doesn't even exist. I get it. I spun my wheels too. And if you want to save time and see what helped me feel like myself again, get my free holistic menopause roadmap. The link is in the description. Now, I'm not a doctor, and none of this is medical advice. I simply want to bring awareness to the language that's being thrown around so carelessly. This will help you distinguish between marketing hype and reality, so you can make informed decisions instead of fear-based decisions. There's been an explosion of menopause talk, which is fabulous. It's great. We need this conversation. But there's also been an explosion of menopause products. And some of those products and services are truly helpful, and the people selling them actually care, especially people like me who've been through it too. We want to share what worked for us, and we want to make a living doing that. And that's in your best interest usually. But others, they're just hopping on the bandwagon. They're hopping on the trend, and they're focused on the money, and some of them will say anything to get you to spend your dollars with them instead of with someone else. So I know it can feel overwhelming. So if you're confused, that's normal. If you bought into it, that's normal too. And if you have cabinets full of supplements, creams, teas, whatever, you're not alone, and that's normal too. I thought hormones needed to be balanced until I started learning more about it. And what I discovered is what they really mean when they say balance hormones, at least the legit people, is that your hormones are constantly fluctuating, and that's normal. The baseline levels are within some range, but even normally, that can be a wide range. It depends on what's going on with your body at any given time. Now in menopause, the baseline levels of certain hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, they drop, but they still fluctuate, and they're supposed to do that. But the fluctuations are less predictable, they're more sporadic. This is very different than implying that there's this perfect balanced state that you must achieve. Like there are specific numbers that are right and everything else is wrong. It's all ranges, which is why your labs can look normal, but you still know you feel different. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. None of this is medical advice, but I want to share there is mounting evidence of non-pharmaceutical practices that can improve the effects of menopause and your quality of life. These include things like deep inner awareness, subconscious practices that are similar to self-hypnosis, neurosomatic practices, emotional release and integration, and lifestyle adjustments. Some of the specific studies that I've found, here's just a couple, for example. There's a 2011 study that shows mindfulness may actually be clinically significant to reduce hot flashes and night sweats. That's a physical outcome from mindfulness. Now, more recently, there's a 2023 study that shows mindfulness-based stress reduction methods can alleviate anxiety symptoms and actually improve the hormone levels in some of the participants. So that is changing the hormone levels. Now, these practices are only beginning to be studied, but I believe their use will become the gold standard for women who want natural solutions to menopause, possibly in the very near future. So that's why I distilled everything that I did to find relief into my primal pause system. Now, I did a lot of trial and error. I did a lot of research. I'm still doing research. And I figured out specific variations and sequences of specific practices to maximize the impact and speed in supporting my nervous system, my metabolic health, sleep architecture, and emotional resilience. And ultimately, I actually experience very few, very low-level menopause effects, and very often I experience none at all. When you shift from a perspective of balancing hormones to one of supporting your biological and emotional systems, it effectively changes how you experience what's happening in your body. And that's what really matters most, feeling better. Now, coming up, I'm going to give you 3 quick questions you can ask yourself to distinguish hype from real solutions, and it'll just take a minute so that you can make those informed choices. But first, if you'd like more specifics on these practices that helped me, I'll give you my free holistic menopause roadmap. It includes a step-by-step, week-by-week action plan. It's super easy to follow, and the link is in the description. You can grab that anytime. Now, here are those 3 practical questions you can ask yourself to distinguish the hyped marketing from the real solutions. First question, what exactly is it we're measuring or balancing? So if someone's talking about balancing hormones, what is it they're really balancing? And make sure there's a definitive answer here and that it's logical, that it makes sense. Second question, is there scientific evidence? Not just articles talking about scientific evidence, but find the actual studies. It's so easy to do these days. Now, if the scientific studies aren't there, that doesn't mean it's not valid, but having them there is certainly helpful to distinguish. Third question, how do I feel in my body when I hear this? Do I feel more light and expansive, or do I feel more frayed, heavy, dense, and constricted? Now, this one's about tapping into your intuition, and it might take a little practice. So if it feels hard or confusing at first, that's okay, it's expected. The more in tune you get with your body and with feeling aligned, the easier this one becomes. Now, I'd love to know, what are you seeing differently around the menopause conversation after watching this video? What aha did you have? Drop it in the comments. Even if you just want to drop one word that comes to mind, that would be great. Let's expand this conversation. If you know another woman who is chasing those perfect labs to get balanced hormones, please share this with her.